This session is all on energy stores. We'll be looking at the 5 energy stores and we'll look at how to describe them. We'll look at what conservation of energy is. And finally, we'll look at how to draw energy transfer diagrams. At GCSE level, you need to know that there's 5 energy stores. We need to talk about them emptying or filling. So when one lets energy out, we say that it's emptying. When one takes energy in, we say that it's filling. And you have to use these words in your exam. The first energy store is a chemical energy store. This is anything that has energy stored in it that's released in a chemical reaction. Second one, elastic potential energy store. This is anything that can be stretched. Kinetic energy store, anything that moves or energy that's transferred through movement. The thermal energy store, every object in existence gives off heat. The thermal energy store shows that heat. And finally, the gravitational potential energy store, anything above the Earth has the potential to fall down to Earth based on the gravitational potential energy it has. Energy can also be transferred from one place to another without going in any of the stores. Now, the 3 ways that this can happen is through light waves, sound waves, or electricity. Okay? These are not classed as energy stores anymore at GCSE. We have to talk about them as being ways of transferring energy. It's important to remember that energy cannot be lost or gained. It can only be transferred. We call this conservation of energy. Energy sometimes seems like it's going out to the surroundings. We call that dissipation.
In the exam, you'll be asked about specific scenarios. Example, this battery-powered torch. They'll expect you to know which energy stores are filling, which are emptying, and any transfers involved. So we'll start off with the battery containing the chemical energy store. Energy is then transferred as electricity, and then further transferred as light waves, which are useful in a torch, and as thermal energy, which is wasted. Now, it's really important that we write down what is useful and what is wasted, because when we work out efficiency in later lessons or later sessions, we will need this information.
A common exam question is about objects falling to the earth and then not bouncing back. So when we look at this, if the object is above the earth, it must be the gravitational potential energy store involved here. It must be the kinetic energy store involved here, and we'll look at what happens when it hits the ground itself. So what's actually happening is the gravitational potential energy store is emptying as the object falls. The kinetic energy store is filling. As it falls further, it will then hit the ground. The kinetic energy store empties. The thermal energy store fills. Energy is also given out to the surroundings. It's dissipated as sound waves.